You enjoyed some Imagine on here. So with these kind of like sit down videos, I'm afraid of them. I'm not gonna lie, I really am afraid of them. There's something about getting on camera and speaking when I don't feel confident about the issue I'm speaking on. But I guess at the end of the day, these are like opinions and just thoughts. Maybe I am putting a little too much pressure on myself. I know a little bit. Let's go from there. The topic I want to talk about today is what makes something a human or a person. That kind of conversation. This question was presented to me in a philosophy class, and I was kind of like confused about the question. What makes something a human or a person? And as we continued the conversation, it seemed like getting a label of human or person, I think it's person, all of a sudden gives you inherent value, when I don't believe a human or a person has inherent value. So that's why I was like intrigued by this conversation, and I was even more into it. Added to this conversation, they were talking about animals being considered a person. This label of a person just seemed to... Oh, you're gonna hear a saxophone in the background. Sorry about that. So it seemed like this label of a person was meant to denote... So it seemed like in order for something to just receive basic respect, it had to be labeled as a person. I thought this was so interesting, how humans are kind of like the standard. And I think about that a lot. How many comparisons are built with humans being the other object. You know what I mean? Anyways, I really thought about this. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, I couldn't sleep, and I just wrote this down. This was back in May, so not that long ago. There's a lot of noises today, and I love that. Honestly, I might not even buy a mic. I might just have horrible quality. But that's the fun in it all, am I right? The handwriting is really tiny, so excuse me. I don't want to have to bring it closer to me, but I might have to. I think overall humans have greatly inflated senses of self-worth. It may not be intentional, but it has been normalized. I think we play God far too often, but attempt to justify these actions to claim we are not. Let me try to reword that. We tend to justify our actions to prove to ourselves that we are not actually playing God. This is just kind of like the natural order of things, you know? I think human or person being some kind of label is an example of that to me. Considering something a person seems to elevate its worth, and all of a sudden we should be caring for this object as it is now one of us. Apparently, we cannot respect a fish for being a fish. We must deem this fish worthy to be one of us, to get respect. I don't know what's so great about being human that being considered one elevates your status as a being. I think humans know deep down there is no high importance in our existence, but in order to justify how we move about, we must make it seem as such. Rewarding that, we need to convince ourselves that we have high levels of inherent value. Is that how you word that? I'm not sure. To cope with the fact that we may not be important. We may have no purpose on this earth. And for a lot of people, that is an awful thought to come to. And I'm not really entirely sure why, actually, as someone who likes that idea. But it seems really common to be afraid of having no value and having no like grand purpose. And that's why I mentioned God, because it just seems like we're trying to get on a level of God and we're just human. I don't think I explained that at all. I'm sorry. Creating a label in general gets ears perked in your direction. This label being given to individuals implies it is attainable to some degree. So the fact that it can be handed out means, oh, well, if it can be passed out, it is something I too can have. When people are excluded or do not meet some sort of criteria, it establishes exclusivity. This label now has value because the consumers believe it does. Because there are now people who are not worthy, and so the fact that I have that label must mean I am more than those who are less than. Which means I have value and they do not. Oh my gosh, my sick dog. There's too much going on. All the while, it's just... I'm sorry about my fake laugh. All the while, it's just a tomato thrown on a windshield. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It could just be a tomato splashed on a windshield. But because there is a belief that it has value, and there are different characteristics that further that belief, all of a sudden, this tomato on a windshield is the best thing ever, and everyone should strive to be it. And it's all about the pitch, how you sell it. You sell this idea of being a person and the value it gives you, the importance it establishes. And for this kind of increased nihilism, maybe, it's appealing. Because I want to have worth, so that way I can get up every single morning. If I know that I am important, doing things aren't that hard anymore. And I do believe that. I just think this is a poor way to go about it. I'm really sorry if you can hear that. I really feel like you can. Anyways, eventually the label starts to genuinely have value, but not because of the label itself, but the actions surrounding it. A human person label allows you to get into exclusive VIP areas. You get to sit at tables with seemingly important people. You're being treated with excellent care. What once had practically no value has become a status symbol. And then I put like my extra disclaimer thought, but I guess I'll read it too. I can always cut it out. Honestly, I'm tired. This thought isn't very cohesive. Humans have sold being a person as it is a commodity, when in reality, that doesn't even seem to be the case. I don't believe there is any value in being human. Attempting to establish what has value based on their likeness to an ideal representation of humans is incredibly silly, and that is important. It's not just human, it's this ideal version of a human, whatever that means, which is why it's so subjective, which is why I think it's stupid. Things shouldn't be valued because they are human, they should just be valued. There's also the fact of biological humans not being considered a person. That was brought up as well. It is also messy, as if we, mere humans, can really determine something's worth and the treatment it should receive. The human label, right? And if you want to exclude biological humans from the person label, I guess it allows you to distance yourself. You're like, oh, I'm not like that. But I think it's so important that we do acknowledge we are. And I think that happens so often. We always, as people in general, distance ourselves from different actions, but we are all capable of doing that. You know, I may not be feeling all that aggressive right now, but that doesn't mean in the right context I won't be. So yeah, I thought this was super interesting. And that's what I want to talk about. Moving forward, I want to try to speak louder. This is me pushing my voice to be louder, and it is still incredibly quiet. I know it is, because I have proof that it is, because I have recorded videos where I tried to be louder, and it didn't matter. Okay. Yeah. But moving forward, I do want to try and just do talking videos. I have like things that I want to discuss, but then I'm too scared to, because I'm not a pro. But whoever is a pro, it's just thinking. You're literally just thinking. Just think your thoughts. I guess also a big thing too, I was afraid to do sit-down videos because one, they're not scripted and not as scary as all the videos I would like to make. I talk myself out of making, so I'm going to stop that. I'm gonna go for it. Just start making videos. Have fun. And with that, I am going to kindly head out. I'll see you.